A Mishawaka family never thought their mom's death would happen the way that it did 1 month ago. 89-year-old Crystal Morrow's life ended when she walked out of her Mishawaka senior home, fell into a nearby pond, and drowned. Tonight, Morrow's 2 children and attorney wanted to talk exclusively to ABC 57's Kim Chappell because we were the only station to ask the tough questions to the manager at the Waterford at Edison Lakes. Kim joins us live there tonight. And Kim, I understand that they plan to file a lawsuit against the Waterford senior home.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. The family attorney tells me they plan to file that lawsuit here in the next week or so. Now, you might remember that police ruled Crystal Morrow's death just last month an accident, but the family tells me they truly believe that Waterford at Edison Lakes could have done more to prevent it. They want to know how their mom was able to walk out of the front doors with a walker, get all the way up to that steep embankment that is actually lined with what they call slippery rocks like these, then fall in and drown.
I remember my mom. I remember my mom always sitting in a chair knitting. My mom knitted all the time.
For Terry Herring and Fred Fuller, putting their mom in a senior home was no easy choice. But these siblings knew 6 years ago it was time.
So I went to Waterford myself, took a tour through it.
It seemed like a nice place. The chefs, the game nights, the spacious apartments.
Did you feel like your mom was safe at Waterford?
Yeah.
You never questioned it?
No.
That is until 4 weeks ago when Fuller got a phone call he never expected.
And the police called me. Said, we just found your mother drowned. No, come on. I said, drowned? He said, yeah, she was in the pond out front. Nothing makes sense.
It's hard to make sense of how his frail 89-year-old mother shuffled in a walker to her death. He says the side doors at Waterford were far too big and heavy for her to open on her own.
She did not have the strength to do anything but walk out a door that was already open.
The family thinks it's possible she may have used a push button to open the front door, the same door that's supposed to be staffed 24/7.
Is that what you think happened here?
I'm not sure what happened. I just know that I, without a doubt, know that my mom couldn't have pushed a metal door open by herself and walked out a door.
The police report says the person on duty that night saw her around midnight in the halls. It looked like Morrow was headed to her apartment, so she left to do her rounds. 7 hours later, her body was found. The Waterford Residence Handbook clearly states the front desk staff is on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Did you feel like that meant that they were making sure that no one was leaving in the middle of the night?
I think that would be one's assumption.
And then there's the pond that she walked or fell into. Steep and lined with slippery gravel, there is no fence or barrier, and it sits just feet from the front and side doors of the building. Police had a hard time even pulling Morrow's walker out of it.
I drove by those ponds and it never, I never thought that my mom could drown in one because I thought she was safe.
Especially with that 24-hour staffing that Morrow paid thousands to have. The manager at Waterford would not comment on this story, but told ABC 57 just 2 days after Morrow's death, the facility is not to blame.
I believe Crystal is an unfortunate accident that could not have been foreseen.
Because this is an independent living facility, it's not licensed by the state. It's up to each family to hire a third-party nurse if needed. Morrow's children say it doesn't take a registered nurse to watch the front door.
And you think they are responsible for your mother's death?
Of course they were. She was in their facility when it happened on their grounds, on their watch.
Waterford selling this facility to potential clients. We'll share with you one man's tour inside and what management told him. Good evening. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Kim Chappell. My investigation into senior living facilities like Waterford at Edison Lakes continues. Now, communities like these are actually called independent living facilities, and they are not subject to any federal or state regulations when it comes to senior care. But how are they selling this property and the safety to potential clients? We'll take a look at what one man learned on his tour inside the Waterford at Edison Lakes. The brochures for Waterford at Edison Lake boast a full calendar of bingo and bridge and plenty of info on how to finance for a room here. But what about selling the safety features for the aging and vulnerable population calling this place home?
Someplace where I know she'll be in good hands.
This is Dennis Comfort. He's browsing for a future senior home for his loved one.
We're not looking forward to presenting this to her.
And agreed to share with us the video of what they told him on his tour at Waterford. As he got a tour, Dennis told Tanya Odell, the manager who also spoke to us on camera after Crystal Morrill's death, about his loved one.
So, sounds like there's some short-term memory impairments going on.
Yeah, there is.
He tells her how she is suffering from slight dementia. The police report said Morrill had severe dementia when she walked out of the building with a walker in the middle of the night, unnoticed by the 24/7 staff, and drowned in Waterford's pond. Here's what Odell had to say to Dennis 3 weeks after Morrill's death.
So people do very well here with short-term memory loss, but again, our residents they don't go out and take walks. They're not going to walk. I don't have anybody here that I'm for fear that they're going to walk across the street.
When he again voiced concerns of his loved one wandering off, she made it very clear they are not a locked, secure facility, and went on to say,
So if you were to put her in a secure unit, and I certainly understand your fear, I think that she would go downhill, because I think she's going to be around people that are so much more severe off as far as dementia.
We're now in the Wild West, if you will, of the care of elderly in our society.
That's how attorney Jules Olsman describes independent living facilities like Waterford. They are popping up all across the country. He's prepared to sue this facility on behalf of Morrill's family.
This was a great lady who the family had a legitimate expectation for her care, and certainly did not envision that their mother's end would come floating in a pond outside of a senior housing complex.
The problem, Olsman says, is that these facilities, unlike nursing homes or assisted living homes, are unlicensed. If a dementia patient like Morrill worsens in the time she was under their roof, there's no medical regulation or law of when she would be moved to a state licensed facility that can properly care for her.
At what point does the facility say, you know, your mother or your father's condition has changed and we don't think that this is a safe environment? Well, that's a difficult thing for a business enterprise to do.
They know the mental health of those people. So that's fine to say maybe they shouldn't have been here, but they never asked us to remove her.
Waterford's contract clearly states that the provider can ask a patient to leave if, quote, you require licensed nursing care or assisted living, or the community is inappropriate for you or your condition. Olsman believes it all comes down to keeping the beds warm and the cold, hard cash coming in. Now Morrill's 2 kids hope others will heed their hard-learned lesson before choosing a facility for their own loved one.
Just put the safety standards in place so that no matter what happens on a daily basis, the people that you collect rent checks from are safe.
The family tells me if there's one thing they want our viewers to take out of this story, it's to remember to ask those tough questions when choosing a senior home for your loved one. Things like, what exactly does 24/7 staff mean? Are the doors locked? And do you have surveillance cameras? Now, Waterford at Edison Lakes does not have surveillance cameras on any of their exits, and that is something that could have helped staff and police understand how 89-year-old Crystal Morrill walked right into this pond behind me and drowned. Now, I did reach out to Tanya Odell again today to try to get a comment about this part of our story. I was told she could not be available and that she is on vacation. Reporting live in Mishawaka, Kim Chappell, ABC 57 News.